And welcome back, everyone. Welcome. Welcome, everyone, to a beautiful winter's dream. I'm, of course, your host, ZvP. With me, I'm joined straight from the lemonade stand himself to join me for this lovely HomeStory Cup broadcast. Welcome, AsherBro.
It's been years, Papi. It's been so long. We haven't casted since 2021.
I forget your face, Papi. I forget you were streaming the other day and it was all gone. I was like, who is this man? Not my Rufus.
Oh no. One of us is gone.
Oh, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're back.
Oh, okay. I apologize. But yes, it is great to be back, Asher. It's great to be here. And you know, we've said this story before. You know, we're going back in time a little bit. You know, this is a world before the Zerg pool. So you can live in ignorance and you can believe that maybe they'll introduce a different map pool. Oh.
I mean, I haven't played on the new maps since. Well, I played some customs on them, but I haven't touched ladder yet.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm going to.
Oh my god. I can use the same excuse. I was actually going to stream earlier today. I was going to ladder. It was like at 3 p.m. I was like, oh yeah, I'll ladder before the cast. Let's go. I'll smudge, Papi.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to lie down for a second. And
I'm going to lie down for a long time. Oh, shit.
I woke up at 6 p.m. I was like, oh never mind. Okay, but for those wondering, this is of course a replay broadcast of some games that unfortunately were not casted on the main stream during HomeStory Cup. This was back in December, so last month, so not too long ago. But of course, this is in the now previous map pool, the now previous patch.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a little bit of a thing of the past, but honestly, I don't think the patch has changed too much. I think the map changes are the main thing, so we can still enjoy a bit of ZvP, I guess.
We can enjoy the Terran pool, Papi, without any Terrans.
The equal pool.
the balance pool, Papi. The balance.
The very, very slightly Zerg favored pool.
You're an animal.
Gah.
This is before the Zerg Cabal got its fingers into the map pool, you know, when there was hope, Papi. Before they took out Euthermal.
They put him away. We aren't talking enough about that. I think you're right. Smurfgate was just to get rid of Euthermal so he couldn't talk about the balance anymore.
You're like, actually, hold on a second.
I'm just like,
You're
now
it
all lines up now. You mention it.
You know what happened? They got rid of Euthermal, right? They extradited him from Europe. They kicked him out. On top of that, time he went into hiding. He had to change his name. He changed his identity, Papi.
He's like, they'll never find me. There's probably 1 million Oliveiras in Brazil. We're fine.
He's hiding out in Brazil. He learned a new language, Papi.
He's in the favelas, Papi, playing StarCraft.
Oh my god, they got him in the military as well. TY, he was gonna come back, and then the Zerg Cabal came in and they made him an offer he couldn't refuse to play Brood War.
They're like, buddy, you play Brood War now. And he's like, no, I think I'll play both. And he's like, no. You play Brood War now.
Oh my
Understand?
God. The conspiracy is real, Papi. One by one, they took out all the Terrans that spoke up. It's over.
Like, you're going to tell them that you're playing both, but when you're streaming, you're only playing Brood War, okay?
Smurge.
You don't want us to visit you again.
Smurge, Papi, Smurge. Oh god. But Of course, we are going to get into some Terrans a little bit later on. We do have some Terrans lined up tonight, so we will be able to get into that. But before that happens, though, we have our first series here, a series between Cham and NightMare.
Oh. These are kind of the two up-and-coming players at the moment. Not that they haven't been around for a while, but it does feel like both of them are starting to break into that next tier.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like NightMare has been kind of around a mid-tier Korean player for a long time. Mid-tier being maybe a little bit generous, but he's been around. But like he keeps getting like some surprising results here and there. Like every now and then he pops off. He goes Super Saiyan for like a week.
He's one of those ones where I have a few Protosses that I like to keep my tabs on just for balance reasons, so you can post the results when they get surprising wins. NightMare's one, Australia's another one, where you can just kind of post these wins out of nowhere and be like, look, he beat Clem, he destroyed Clem, 2-0'd him.
You're so mean. What do you mean Australia's one of them? He's actually good though, pup. He's good.
There's NightMare. I mean, Australia is a little bit better than NightMare, but like, it's still not as good as Clam.
I would have accepted down. I would have accepted down as well.
No, that's mean. What do you mean? He was there, and now it's a surprise? That's brutal. Wow.
Oh god. But yes, of course, we are getting ready for our first series here. Asher, I would ask if you're ready. Are you prepared?
I forgot.
Shout out to Blizzard, the amazing Blizzard clients that whenever it's not even like it doesn't even have to be a proper update. If the game ever goes down for a little bit, then all the replays break, puppy. What
was the last patch? I remember them doing some tiny patch that changed things.
Yeah,
I can't even remember what it was for.
It was a couple of years ago now, but
I don't know. There was one like between the last two patches.
Oh.
We went to a new version, and I can't remember why. Was it just the maps?
I think it was the maps. Yeah, I think it was the maps. Oh boy. Yeah. Okay. So for those wondering, for those wondering, because it's a new patch, that means that you can't join old replays in a party. It means that you have to do it individually because it forces you to play it offline instead of online. It just kicks you off the servers, and you go do it yourself.
Yeah, I was wondering too. I kind of forgot how this works. All right. Well, I'm ready.
All right, let's dive into this in 3, 2, 1.
And here we go. Spawning. In the top right-hand corner of the map, in the blue, it is our Zerg. It is Cham.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Inside and Out, we have his opponent, the South Korean Protoss player representing, I believe, Team GP at the time. It is NightMare. So yeah, you were talking a little bit about how these two players they're kind of up-and-comers in their own respective regions. They've been getting some pretty solid results. Top of that, I don't know if it plays in too much of a role here, but they are also teammates.
I feel like some of these new teams, it's not quite the same as what it used to be with the team houses and the constant practice. I feel like sometimes with the new teams, it's kind of just they get paid from the same wallet. I don't know, maybe that's a bit cynical, but
yeah, that definitely.
I feel like people, they have who they like to practice with now.
Yeah, like especially after like, I guess it was pre-COVID. It was post-Kesper. Like team houses weren't really a thing anymore. I don't know if you were watching StarCraft in the during VSL or VTL. Do you recall that team league?
Nah.
It was really cool. It was post it was post Kesper, so after like SKT1 and all that stuff closed down. There was a team league and it was sponsored by Twitch in Korea, and all the Korean players, they made their own like teams to play in it. And and there were groups of Koreans that like lived in the same apartment complex, and they made teams and stuff like that. So they were like,
sick.
yeah, they were like team, and then it was like their street name.
Yeah.
I think that was Forte, Armani, and Dream or something like that. You know, like they all kind of live together a little bit. So they formed their own little nations in Korea, and they played against each other. It was really sick. Oh my god.
Wait, I don't think. Oh, where are these drones going? I don't think anyone is ready for Stormgate. Team Melbourne.
Let's go, Poppy.
We got the boys. We got Pez, Chappie, AsherBro, Oreo.
Aye, mate. We're gonna get like the inner city Melbourne team and then the suburb Melbourne team, which is like Chase and Seaton. So, yeah. As this game is not gonna go for much longer because Cham, he's pulling every single one of the boys. The wall's on a wall. Oh god.
Oh, the wall is not a wall, and it cannot be a wall, but the probe is in position. He has sniffed this out with the adept, and he's going to throw down the pylon, effectively stopping this drone drill from doing anything at all. And these drones, they really don't have that much DPS. He is doing some really nice stacking to get the damage to go down, but NightMare starting to set up a secondary wall, even recalling the adept here.
Yeah, exactly. Very quick reaction here from NightMare. He didn't scout this until it was already in his face, but he had a probe on the way anyway. And now, with the power of 2 adepts and a stalker behind this wall, I don't think Cham can pull this off. He's going to be able to maybe get a kill on this Cybercore, but that's not going to be enough.
Yeah, the rewall is good. He is super all in with this. He absolutely has to break through, has to start damaging the units, and we have a shield battery finished. There's going to be overcharge available for that as well, so we might even be able to save this core if we can get that overcharge. Just 10 energy off.
Wow, we just barely don't get the overcharge, barely, not enough energy here for it. The Cybercore is going to go down, but we have a sentry, we have a force field. Cham is still flooding lings across the map, by the way. But I don't see a world where he can really break this. I mean, here we go. He's going to try, but there's that force field.
Yeah, Cham, he has got no choice. The force field is going to be going down. We do have that overcharge finally being popped here, and that means these lings, they are not going to be killing anything. We do have a little bit of damage going down on the shield battery itself.
Yeah, a little bit of damage. The shield battery does go down, but the lings are being all cleaned up. We still have more lings coming, by the way. But GG gets called, and NightMare, he holds and takes the first game.
GG. So nice strategy coming out from Cham, but NightMare just a little bit too sharp with the adept movement. Catches it in the nick of time, has that probe in position.
Cham, he heard that I was trying to tell a story. He's like, no, we're going for an early rush, Poppy. The story time is over. Let's go.
You tell your story in the next game.
But yeah, as you were saying, you know, I appreciate the strategy there from Cham, and for the most part he was doing a good job at keeping it hidden. It's just such a shame that at the time, if you recall, I believe the adept was shading past and it actually ran into the lings, and NightMare was just ready for that anyway. Like, he happened to have a probe in the area in position for the wall.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was something that was based on the timing or if he just kind of sniffed out that something was coming his way along those lines. But that was nicely done either way. So with that, we are going on to our second map. It is going to be Data C, so a little bit of a bigger map, bit more room for both players to get established properly.
Yeah, now it's NightMare's turn to cheese. Oh my god. Bearing in mind as well, we didn't actually even get a chance to talk about it. We just kind of dove straight in. We were kind of talking about conspiracy theories. I mean, real facts.
Yep. Thank you.
As a reminder, this is of course a best of 2. That's the special thing about the group stage here of HomeStory Cup is no best of 3s allowed.
Yeah, so we have had some pretty interesting results coming out from that. It does that sometimes when you have a strong player and slightly weaker player, you're a little bit more likely to have a tied result. So it did create some pretty interesting quasi upsets, I guess, throughout.
Yeah, kind of.
I know.
Yeah, results you wouldn't otherwise expect. You know, we definitely saw that in some of the other groups, especially Group A, which is the group that we did, the TVP group that we casted just last week. Oh, but now we're getting ready for game number 2, and Asher, are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh. 3, 2, 1.
And spawning up in the top right-hand corner of Data Under the Sea, we do have our Mexican Zerg playing for Team GP. In the blue, this is Cham.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Data Under the Sea, we have the South Korean Protoss player representing Team GP. It is NightMare.
Yeah, so here we go. Now they're going to be sending out that early pro block once again.
Yeah,
and I feel like it is worth mentioning as well. These two players, it's a bit of a, not a clash of styles. I don't know what you call it, because they're kind of both, they're quite similar just for each of their respective races, and that they're very aggressive, especially in the early to mid game. Kind of bordering on cheese here.
Yeah, like they're not like Haas or Mia Micah level where they're just that they never play standard. Like they definitely have the opportunity to do so, but they have a bit of a reputation, and I agree. That's why, you know, game number 1 wasn't too out of the norm for Cham, and game number 2 I also imagine to go a little bit differently. You know, if we do end up in the mid game, Cham, he's the kind of player, maybe even before the rise in popularity of this sort of thing, but like to go into like swarm host play or something like that against Protoss, he's willing to just, you know, be a little bit outside the norm.
Yeah, he definitely has some interesting strategies. I've seen a lot of that. I've seen his muter control is very good as well. He does get a lot done with muters, and that can be pretty good in the current meta, going for muter timings against the ground toss styles.
Yeah, exactly, and we'll see if that's what we get. I mean, I hope so. I want to see them both kind of thrive in the mid game. I don't want the series to be over in 10 minutes. I want some more ZvP, Poppy. Especially because, you know, this is one of the last times, Asher, that we're going to be under the sea together.
That we're going to be casting a ZvP. The Protosses are going to go extinct. This is one of the last ZvPs I'm going to get to see.
You're like, you don't understand, Papi. The Terrans, we were the only ones protecting the Protoss. Now that we're gone, the Protoss are next. They didn't know, Papi. They didn't know.
Nah, if I'm smurging, Protoss got double smurged. I saw this morning Hart was saying, he was like, I never thought I would ever say this, but I feel sorry for Protoss. I'm like, wow, it's come to that.
Oh my god, mate, they're fine. They can wall, okay? It's
they can wall.
They'll find a way. Don't worry about it.
Just wall the nerfs away.
Yeah.
As we do just see it, NightMare just scouting around with this little stalker. I'm not really sure how he's gotten on this side of the map, but trying to catch this overlord. Cham doing everything that he can to keep it alive, and looks like he's just gonna get a scout on that Stargate there.
Oh yeah, he barely does edge on in. He gets a glimpse of the Stargate, doesn't see the unit coming out, but he at least knows to prepare for, I imagine, an Oracle. You know, that is typically what we should be seeing. Oh, Cham though, you were talking about the aggressive plays earlier. He throws down a Baneling Nest behind the main.
Yeah, so kind of looks like he's setting up to go for a Bane Bust. It's kind of interesting. We already have a Stalker in the wall, which is a little bit unusual for one of these Stargate openers. I know NightMare definitely a player that does put a lot of value in being a little bit more tricky, so despite spending that extra gas on the Stalker, still going into that Stargate, and there we go, the first Oracle actually taking quite a lot of damage.
Yeah, a lot of hits already going down. They're down to 10 HP, but at least NightMare keeps it alive. We can see that he's going to be moving out with his Adepts as well. Likewise, I'm really curious to see if Cham does end up cutting drones here. Like that early Baneling Nest is very out of the norm. We see a wave of Lings on the way, but only 12 for the time being. This is enough to deal with these Adepts, as the Adepts are going to be shading in, and they're going to deny a lot of mining time here at the third.
Yeah, so they're adept causing a full drone pool, and they're going to be quite a nuisance to deal with for Cham. Cham just being chased around all over the place. Those links finally going to be popping. Should be able to tie down the adepts, but not before they get back into the main and get a little bit more damage there.
That was crucial because that wasn't just damage, that was a scout, mate. He saw the Baneling Nest. He barely did catch up with his adepts, and a Baneling Nest hidden behind the mineral line, that is not normal at all. At the same time, the oracles, oh my god, they go ham at the third.
Yeah, the Oracle's going to be getting a little bit of extra damage. Really nice micro there by NightMare, switching those Oracles so that the low health one doesn't get taken out by the Spore. That was quite slick.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Very slick moves there. But does he have enough energy to defend the turn? Because Cham, he's making nothing but links right now. He's got a Roach Warren behind this, actually. So he himself is getting ready just in case the Bane bust doesn't work. He just checks, he confirms no real probes at the third base, but he's getting ready to, I imagine, morph in those veins.
Yeah, here we go. Cham is going full NA here right now. We're on 36 drones. We're just pumping the Ling Bane lair on the way behind. There's nothing but Lings in the production tab, and these first few Banelings, they are charging on towards the front. There's no shield battery.
No shield battery. They actually divert their attention. They do get the sentries, but we haven't overcharged the Banelings. They get their connections anyway. The shield battery is going to be going down. There's not that much on the ground to defend, and one of those oracles is out of energy.
Yeah, Oracle's out of energy. One of them going to be charging that beam right back up to get what damage that it can. And Cham, he has gotten a little bit of damage here, but I am feeling like it's not really enough justifying how low he is on drones.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he kind of trades decently well, but as we can see, NightMare, he's ahead almost 20 workers. Cham was a little bit indecisive with his Ling Bane. The Banelings were trying to go into the natural to begin with, but there was a Stalker there, and Cham saw that as well because of the Overlord, and he had to kind of divert his attention. So he's had a bit of a rough go of things, and he just now starts droning again.
Yeah, I mean, he's trading army for army, which is not really what you want here. He really needs to get some economic damage right now to make it worth it, as we do see NightMare just holding on by the skin of his teeth now. The Oracle's barely getting enough energy to be able to deal with this.
Oh, exactly. And now all the Banelings are gone. Only a handful of Lings remaining. There's still 2 shield batteries. Soon there's going to be an overcharge as well once we have enough energy. And Cham, he backs off. He did throw down a Roach Warren as he was attacking, so he himself knew that the Ling Bane bust wasn't really going to do any damage or enough damage, and he's going to try and stabilize, but emphasis on try because he is still behind.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to have to come up with another bit of a little trick here, I think, if he wants to get himself back into this. NightMare already getting those Archons out. Is starting to go into a bit more of the charge spell Archon-based composition as we see Charge and a Warp Prism finishing up here.
Oh, exactly. We've got all our upgrades finishing up. We've got that Prism on the way so soon. NightMare, he's going to be the one to pile on the aggression, and Cham's going to be on the back foot, and I do worry for this just because a lot of the gas that Cham has banked up is being spent on Roaches. He also needs Banelings at home to defend against those charge lots, and he has to be really careful not to lose these Lings. Otherwise, what will he morph into Banes?
To pile on the aggression because there's a Protoss.
Oh,
he makes pylons.
You're an animal. Go back to your lemonade stand.
Oh. As here we go, NightMare has arrived. The attack is here. We have 3 Archons barreling it down the front here. Pretty good amount of Roaches coming out from Cham here, and it does look like this has really caught NightMare by surprise.
Oh yeah, the Archons almost go down. They do fall back to a stasis trap. It goes off. 5 of these Roaches are going to get caught out here, but it looks like NightMare just doesn't have enough. At the same time, Baneling run by across the map.
Yeah, big Baneling run by there, getting a lot of damage, and we have some damage going down as well on this morphing in 4th, so Cham is splitting off very small amounts of units to get large amounts of damage, handling this very well, but man, these stasis traps for NightMare are huge. If he can press his advantage now.
Yeah, that could have been it. That could have been the moment, but NightMare, he doesn't go for it. He backs off instead. And now suddenly NightMare's massive economic advantage isn't there anymore, and Cham is going for a massive Roach counterattack.
Yeah, that is a lot of Roaches that are heading NightMare's way. They should be able to get the kill on this 4th, and NightMare's just going to have to sit back to wherever he can. He has additional batteries warping in, but they're not going to be there in time.
Oh, they're not going to be there in time. We have Disruptors on the way, but they need a little bit more time to morph on in. The Roaches power on through. We have some Force Fields, but they're not enough.
Yeah, the force field's not quite enough. NightMare not able to pull back and take advantage of those, and these roaches getting a lot of damage. We do have a shield battery overcharge with the Archons. It's going to help a lot. The first disruptor comes out, as the second disruptor does as well. Not the best Nova.
The first one, not the best, but the second one gets a pretty juicy connection, and the disruptors are enough. At the same time, Zealot run by across the map. The Oracles are across the map as well. NightMare is wreaking a little bit of havoc, and he is forcing Cham back home.
Yeah, the counterattack is here in full force. NightMare even rallying in a Void Ray. That's going to do so much work here because of the low queen count of Cham, and he is barreling down the front here, just trying to assemble all his forces together, get this attack going. And what is there to defend for Cham? He has a good amount of roaches, starting to morph in a couple Ravagers as well.
Oh my god, that one Zealot in the natural of Cham has 8-10 kills. Oh my god, it's still going, but it's still going! Someone stop this man! The one Zealot is killing everything at the same time. Cham, he's trying to focus on the main assault, but NightMare, he backs off, he doesn't commit.
Yeah, NightMare maybe even recognizing that the Zealot has got an insane amount of damage right here, and he doesn't even really need to fully commit to this push anymore. Cham is down to 35 drones. He was on 60 earlier.
That one Zealot got, I think it was 15 or 16 kills at the end there. It was crazy. Oh my god. Here we go. If he wasn't all in before, he is all in now. Cham, he's got to go with what he's got. He has a decent amount of army supply, but army supply doesn't matter in the face of Purification Novas, and we have 4 of them.
Yeah, Cham dumping all of his gas into these Banes and Ravagers. This attack has to work. It has to work now. He's going to be trying to attack from a couple of different angles as well, just trying to split up the forces of NightMare. Does look like he's finding it very awkward to get in here.
Oh yeah, here we go. A couple of Novas are going to be going off, only taking down a handful of units. The Disruptors are getting caught out a little bit as well. This is probably the best case scenario for Cham. He's rolling on in. Can he get the Disruptor? Ooh.
Yeah, the Bane's rolling in on top of the Disruptors. Unfortunately, quite a lot of them going onto the Archons. The Roach is doing the best that they can, but we haven't been able to focus down that shield battery there. The battery overcharge has been focused down, but it got a good amount of value before it went down, and these Archons should be able to clean up the rest.
Ooh, the Archons and the Disruptors have reset as well. GG gets called, and NightMare takes the series 2-0.
GG, but very interesting play coming out from Cham. That game looked pretty over when the Lingbane attack didn't do anything, but he brought it back to a very even-looking game with his roaches.
Yeah, with the Roach counterattack, with the Bane run by as well. If you recall, it was towards the beginning of the game, but it happened, and he was able to claw his way back economically. I almost believed, Puppy, and there was that moment where he was attacking with his Roaches, pushing in towards the third, and that's when the Disruptors came out, and that's when the hold happened, and that's when, you know, things were starting to swing in favor of NightMare.
And the Disruptors smudged him, Puppy.
There was a lot of smudging going on that game, okay? There was...
You just saw that one Zealot and you're like, oh, I've seen him before. We've met.
I'm getting some ladder PTSD flashbacks. Like, not again, Buffy, not again.
How did he get into Cham's base? That's an Australian Zealot right there.
Aye. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. But GG, well played to NightMare. Very solid series and very solid result, I should say. Especially because coming into things, we were both kind of, or at least I was of the impression that these are two players that are relatively close in skill, and it wasn't necessarily clear-cut who would take this series and who would be able to get a pretty important score in this round-robin group stage.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this could have gone either way. I definitely could have seen Cham even winning that second game. He was in some pretty good spots, and for NightMare to, especially with how well he did in that first game, clutch that one out, I feel like that is a very nice follow-up to his amazing performance at DreamHack Atlanta.
Definitely. You know, DreamHack Atlanta was really peak NightMare. You know, that's when he was really coming into his own and becoming the protagonist a little bit. So yeah, really cool to see that he can kind of continue with that run and with that momentum. But for now, we're going to be taking a bit of a break from Cham and NightMare. We're going to be seeing more of them later on in the night, as this is a round-robin group stage. But now we're going to feature some of the other players in this group.
Yeah, and we have a very special Terran.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I don't know how he's done it, but he's been able to avoid the Zerg cabal. You know, he's he's living like in a bomb shelter somewhere in South Korea. You know, they can't get to him, puppy. They can't find him. Try as they might.
he's too powerful. He's got his mech set up. You can't break it.